Fleet load monitoring seems to be at the forefront of everyone's minds these days. It's a crucial process now for sports scientists, strength and conditioning coaches alike in the applied setting. But now I've collaborated with Sport Horizon to create hopefully a very unique course that teaches you not just the theory and the research that underpins load monitoring, but the practical aspect too through data analysis and visualization skills in Power BI. So I'm joined today by Kieran Dearley from Sport Horizon, with whom I've collaborated. And we are just going to talk briefly about load monitoring itself, why it's so important, but then also give you some insight into what our course, the fundamentals of load monitoring, is offering. So my personal philosophy is to start with why and end with so what. And that's really the approach that we have brought to this course. We are starting with the why in each module as to explain the research and the theory underpinning each topic, then getting on to the so what. So what do we do about it? And showing the practical side of actually step-by-step building various reports in Power BI. When we're starting with why, then we have to think about why is load monitoring so important? And we see a whole array of headlines talking about the workload that athletes are undergoing is greater than ever. So it's never been a more important topic. We also then, of course, have financial implications and performance implications to our athletes, training load as it pertains to performance and injury. So stats such as these showing hundreds of millions of dollars or pounds spent on injuries every year. Also see the impact of injuries and player unavailability on team success and performance outcomes. And we get into some of that research on the course. It's really critical, not just to collect data for the sake of it, but for it actually to make a difference. So we want to answer the so what, which is something that we are constantly talking about here. So what do we do with these reports? And these kinds of questions that were compiled by Stephen West in a research paper interviewing 9 different sports science practitioners, talking about the kinds of questions that we seek to answer when monitoring load with our athletes. These might be questions such as, how much have we done today compared to our norm? Has our athlete run fast enough recently? And how is each athlete responding to their training load? So at the core of this course is this holistic dose response athlete load monitoring cycle. We are not just focusing on the training load itself, but also monitoring the athlete's response. So here is the overview of the modules in this course then, and you can see we take you from an introduction to training theory through various ways of measuring athlete training load, as well as then measuring their response to that load, before talking about, crucially, how we disseminate and communicate this information. As you'll see shortly, with every module here, we have at least one Power BI report that will then take you through step-by-step how to build. You may have already seen some of my other videos in collaboration with Sport Horizon. I really love what these guys are doing in terms of bringing a sport-specific approach to learning some of these BI tools. And that really is a critical skill set in today's world in sports science. And actually, that is the question I get asked the most is, should I learn Power BI? What data analytics tool should I be using? And that is how this course really came about in discussing with Sport Horizon and Kieran and Johannes and the guys there about how we can collaborate, not just to teach the skills in Power BI, but also to teach the underpinning scientific knowledge behind it. So I'll throw over now to Kieran, and I want to put to you that question that I have been getting all the time around, well, why learn Power BI? And I'd love to bring you in to answer this and also share some information about the course from the Power BI perspective.
Obviously, I'm quite biased, but of course you should. Power BI is not the only one. There's Tableau and other solutions as well. A lot of practitioners are drowning in data in some ways. They have so many data points, and the benefits of Power BI and Tableau and others is that it can really automate that journey, and it can make it more efficient so that we're not dealing with sheets upon sheets and rows upon rows of Excel and CSV files, we're actually extracting that data out automatically into Power BI. And in Power BI, then you can filter the data, manipulate it, analyze it very well. Like in the course, we show multiple ways of analyzing the data. But then the critical thing, of course, is that you have a very efficient and effective way of visualizing the data. Excel is relatively limited in its visualization, and it really can't do what the likes of Power BI and Tableau can do. Something that we really fundamentally believe in is that visualization and the communication with the players, the coaches, the MDT team is critical. And using Power BI is a very useful tool in that. The other good thing is that it's quite easy to learn Power BI. And in this course, we purposely have gone from like A to Z, all the way from connecting with your data source and manipulating the data and filtering it, all the way to creating really insightful and bespoke reports and dashboards. And you really don't need any prior knowledge of Power BI at all to improve your reporting skills with this course. Really, we developed our business, Sport Horizon, to kind of help sports scientists and practitioners on that journey. And really, this course is the culmination of that, where we're taking the sports science, the sport-specific theory and framework of load monitoring, and then we're applying that into analyzing the data and then visualizing it and reporting it. So as Joe mentioned, we've got 9 modules actually that we covered, including the introduction and the moving forward about data communication. And alongside each of those modules, then we build out a report. So the modules are split in half, where Joe focuses on the theoretical approach, but also then the second half of each module is covered by the Sport Horizon guys, where we show you how to actually build out a relevant report or dashboard to go along with the information that Joe provides. So like, for instance, when Joe speaks about speed exposure, of course, then we show you how to build out a speed tracking report on that. And if you look down at the end on module 8, I think our favorite module in the whole course is about communication and the dissemination within your MDT squad. We show you then how to build out a training and a load response report, and we kind of bring a lot of the aspects of what we learned together into one report. So that's quite cool. So we'll just give a brief look at some of the reports. You can see them there, 9 in total, and it goes from RP analysis and different session reports and longitudinal reports looking at weekly load, acute chronic workload report as well, speed exposure, and of course that critical training response and training effects of the wellness report and counter movement jump, and finishing off with that response dashboard as well, which is really quite cool. Rather than just going a step by step in how to build these reports in Power BI, we wanted to show you some of the functionalities as well. We want you to be able to go into your club, and that when you're asked a question by, can you build out something for us to dive deep in something else? And we wanted to give you that ability to be able to use all these functions in Power BI. And actually the same as well, you can apply this into Tableau and to other data analysis solutions as well. So things like DAX formulas and Power Query Editor, and what's the difference between a fact and a dimension table, and the importance of having a really robust and strong data model, that you won't need to dive as deep into the DAX formulas as if you have your data model set up, and the all function and different parameters and calculations and new columns. So we basically put these in and the different modules and showed you, okay, so for this you can look at percentages and we show you how to do that, and for something else you're going to need a DAX formula and we show you how to do that as well. That's just a flavor of some of the reports that you'll learn how to build and the dashboards on this course.
Thanks, Claire, and actually that gives you a really good flavor of our course, Fundamentals of Load Monitoring. Every sports science practitioner knows nowadays that there's no point knowing all the research and not being able to apply it. But likewise, we shouldn't just be building reports and doing data collection without understanding and appreciating the underpinning theory and research. And so that is how we have approached this course, hopefully to arm the students with both skill sets in that topic of load monitoring. So the course is going live on the 3rd of April 2025. If you are watching this video prior to that date, then with the link below, you can sign up to get a 20% off discount. If you're watching this after that date and the course is already out there, or the link below will still send you straight to the course information so you can sign up. Of course, there's loads of other information on the Sport Horizon website, and there are often deals around discounts or course combination deals as well. If you do want more insight into some of the Sport Horizon courses, then I do have a couple of other videos in collaboration with those guys. So thank you, Kieran.
Thank you very much, Joe. And again, thanks for inviting me on, but more importantly, to collaborate with this course. When we set up this business, we wanted to work with some of the world's best sports scientists and data analysts. So yeah, we're delighted and excited about it.